Eagles rookie offensive tackle out of Auburn, Jack Driscoll, moments before his first game, was told that he's starting at right tackle. In his first game, he's going up against what would be the rookie defensive player of the year, Chase Young, veteran Ryan Kerrigan, former first-round pick Montez Sweat, Daron Payne, Tim Settle, really good bunch of guys here from Washington team, and he did a really good job here. Let's take a look at the first rep. He's taking a wide lateral step here and being the attacker on Chase Young out here to the right side of our screen. What he does really well is with his outside hand, he's going to grab Chase. So when he's trying to get the edge, he will pull him into him all the time. And every time Chase is trying to punch his hands away, he just keeps pulling him into him. And at the end here, he's going to try to spin, but he keeps holding on right there. It's subtle. It's not. You can't call this a holding, but it gives him the advantage. On the next rep, we see the exact same thing again against Chase Young, and his first step is quick. He's coming out, he's grabbing him by his inside shoulder and holding on for dear life, getting a good leverage, butt low, squat down, and then keep going at him. Again, working against Chase Young on the outside. Does the same thing here as we saw before. He gets his outside hand on him right there, grabs him, pulls him in towards him, gets his other hand on him, and then he holds him up nicely. Chase tries to do the spin once again. He's not going anywhere. Chase Young trying to go on a bull rush right here, and Driscoll wins the leverage and the point of attack. Holds him up with some strong arms right here. As you see Chase getting out of balance, Driscoll holds him up nice. So here, really good rep against Ryan Kerrigan. Here he takes a lateral step, so he becomes less susceptible to the bull rush move that we saw before, because Ryan doesn't have the get off that he wants to have to set up the bull rush. So he attacks him really early, good and quickly with his hands. Holds on to him right here, grabs the inside of the shoulder pads, holds him up well. Zone to the left side, and he combines really well with Nate Herbig. So you have a defender in Daron Payne lined up in the B gap right here. Now the rules of this engagement is that if the defender remains in the B gap and shoots towards Driscoll, then Nate will have to be responsible for taking on John Bostic 53. But here, because they get Daron Payne pushed all the way sort of into the A gap, Driscoll will be the one responsible for transferring up to 53, which he does right here. And so that creates a seal for the running back to get on the outside. Power to left side, Driscoll will be pulling from his tackle position here from right to left, and he's taking on John Bostic well. He's staying square to the line as he's coming over here, and then finds him naturally, creates a lane for Scott to run up in there. Really good rep here against Ryan Anderson, who is going to go with a wide ankle. So as we saw before with Chase Young, he's grabbing the inside shoulder of Chase, and then he's pulling it towards him. Right here, Ryan is going to take a wide ankle as he's coming out here, so he's putting his outside hand on him. So if Ryan goes inside, he can support Driscoll can support with his inside arm. But as he's coming out here, he'll just follow him through with the outside arm, and then he'll put his other arm on him as he's driving him down the field. Good rep. And we actually get to see that very exact same technique against Ryan Anderson once again right here. Outside hand on him, he commits to the outside, you follow through with the inside arm, and then you just push him down the field. Of course, here is where Jason Peters gets obliterated by Chase Young, so it's a sack. Against Ryan Anderson, once again, he wants the edge. It's the same technique we see from Driscoll. He's punching with his outside hand first, and as soon as Anderson commits to the outside, he follows through and keep pushing him upfield. Works well with Nate Herbig here on the stunt from the D-line. They're setting a lot of pressure right here. 53 will be blitzing up in the A gap. Then you got a C and B gap switch right here from the D-line. And there's going to be a DB8 blitzing to the outside. Now the DB we don't care about because Carson is hot on this play. He has to get the ball out. He's an empty. So that's on Carson. He has to get that out. So Jack does a really good job here with Nate, sorting it out, picking up 98, while Sweat will be picked up by Nate as he's coming in here. This is a really good job by the offensive line. Then it's on Carson to get the ball out. He does, becomes a completion. Displays some really strong hands here against Tim Settle, number 97 here. So as Carson is rolling out, he's just going to keep battling with Settle as he is right up right here. Settle's going to notice how he's going to keep punching the hands of Driscoll to try to get away from that, and he holds on throughout the rep. So now we're going up against Montez Sweat. First rep, he gets tricked a little bit because Sweat does like a little twitch inside right there, and you can see that Driscoll's going to shoot his hands forward. He's going, oh, here comes the inside move, and doesn't, and then he gets caught a little bit flat-footed, and then really good inside arm from Montez Sweat is going to push him back, does regather his balance, drops his weight like really well here. So even though Sweat has the full advantage, he actually manages to stop him. He does give up too much ground because he bit on it, but it's a good recovery. going up against Montez Sweat once again right here. And he has a real good get off. Hands are being placed early. The outside arms we saw, but I think he's a little bit surprised by the running back chip who's going to come right here. So he kind of chips him all the way into Driscoll. So he has to sort of catch him instead of right there earlier he was sort of punching, trying to get control of Montez, and now he has to catch him. Again, a good regather as well. He recovers well, so he doesn't end up becoming a sack and actually holds him up well. But you can see he gets surprised by it. So here against Ryan Kerrigan does some of the things that we saw with Jordan Mailata a little bit later in the season when he started playing a lot of games. And that is when he was dropping back and when Driscoll drops back right here, he sort of has his kick slide foot up in the air when he's taking on the bull rush here from Kerrigan. So the leverage is actually okay, but his backside foot is just getting planted because Ryan is pushing into him. And so he becomes stood up and he kind of loses his footing and gets pushed back way too much. Working nicely in combination with fellow young offensive lineman Nate Herbig right here. He'll be passing on Chase Young nicely inside, give him a good push as he's pushing him in there, and then he's taking on Daron Payne as he'll be stunting to the outside. So he takes on Chase Young well, pushes him inside, picks up Daron Payne. Against Ryan Kerrigan, needs to get a little bit lower right here. The get off is fine, but as you see, Ryan is coming in here. He's got a way better leverage than Driscoll has, and if it wasn't because Kerrigan is going to launch into Nate Herbig and fall down, that might have been a really bad play. Washington sending a blitz here with number 30, who's going to come up here and blitz to the outside. We have a slide left protection, so the running back will be releasing to the right side where he'll be assisting on the block, which means Driscoll would have to pick up the defensive end who's coming in here, and Boston Scott will be picking up number 30. Now Driscoll focuses solely on the blitzing DB, and so that is going to result in a sack. So at this point, he's been going up against Chase Young, a little bit of Ryan Kerrigan, and a few snaps against Ryan Anderson. Here comes Jonathan Allen, a very different stature of a player that he's going against, much bigger. So this catch technique of grabbing him is not working if you don't get the leverage, and he does not get the leverage right here. Allen gets his hat lower than his. Big guy, he is driving him backwards, and he's lucky Carson gets out of the pocket there.